Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and today we are starting the next portion of our LOTRO journey with the release of the Courses of Umbar expansion. We are doing this on release date, so I'm very excited for this. The first time I get to play a new expansion with Beriathan on release, and we have a couple things in here that have already popped out for us. We have Deeds of Eastern Kings Gondor, New Deeds, Song of Waves and Wind, and Respected with the Renewal of Gondor. Yes, I did take the time after the end of last episode to hit Kindred with the Renewal of Gondor, and now there's a new tier, or at least a couple reputation tiers that have been added to this faction. So, well, we have that to work towards, but let's see what else we have in here. Some plugins, they seem that they need to be updated before they can be used with the expansion. Well, Deed Tracker is loading properly, but it doesn't have the new deeds yet, which is a shame because I really enjoy tracking my deeds with the plugin, but I guess I will need to adjust that one manually when it gets properly updated. We are about to start the release of the expansion, the new quests, but actually let me double check in here. There is a plugin that should be, yeah, I don't know why this one got all wonky all of a sudden. Anyway, because yeah, we wouldn't be doing this without Geralt, right? We wouldn't dream of doing that. So let's check the deeds that we got. We have Respected with the Renewal of Gondor for 20 LOTRO points. Some marks. The title is really cool, the Renewer. And we also have in here the Epic, the Song of Waves and Wind, 1 out of 8. So you have an idea of how many chapters have been added. It goes all the way to chapter 7 now. And here in Eastern Gondor we have the deeds of Eastern Gondor, the meta deed. I didn't complete the Slayer deeds here in Eastern Kings Gondor because they still provide reputation, and I really didn't need the extra reputation until the release of the new tier. I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to double check with you before starting the new expansion. To be honest with you, I thought there would be a lot more people in here, but I guess most of them have already logged in and begun the new expansion. From what I heard, there is a bug in the Epic quest that prevents progression, and we'll see if we hit that one. Hopefully not, because I'm really excited to get into the expansion, all the expansion, but if we cannot do that with the Epic, I think I will just pause the series until the issues get fixed. As usual, as it maybe sadly has become usual with LOTRO expansion releases, it seems there are still a lot of things that need to be polished, but hopefully, as far as storytelling goes, it won't be as glaring as what happened in Gundabad when we had the second half of Carbronach and a couple quests in Glooming Tarn unavailable at release. Hopefully we'll be able to see the end of all the storylines before we need to stop and wait for updates. We'll see. Anyway, we are ready now to start chapter 2.
Even in time of peace, Gondor is wide, and travel will take some time.
That is true. Gondor is wide and travel will take some time. After all, the king desires to speak with as many of his folk as he can, doing whatever might be done to ease their burdens after the war. Speak with him inside and learn what he wishes to accomplish in Imlath Melui before continuing his journey. So, in case you need the refresher... Oh, we got ported and everything. Yeah, that's more like it. A lot more people in here. That is what I was expecting. So, yeah, Aragorn wants... Well, King Elessar, we should say, wants to help his people, wants to see what burdens they face after the end of the war, and that is the journey that he's been doing westward. We've discovered the heirs of Castamere were plotting something, but they no longer have the control of Umbar. Umbar is now governed by the Kindred of the Coins, and they have infiltrated, well, the heirs of Castamere have actually infiltrated Elessar's court. We still don't know who, of course, but that's where we stand so far. The Kindred of the Coins looks really interesting. Leading up to the release of the expansion, the LOTRO team did release some interesting teases on about the new characters that would be introduced as part of the Kindred of the Coins. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. But let's not waste any more time and talk to Elessar now.
I too am concerned about the Kindred of the Coins.
But whatever power now controls Umbar is beyond debate. We must first see to the well-being of our people while we have the time to do so. Already we have come to some of the deepest wounds inflicted by the War of the Ring. The Lady Vanyalos dwells here in sorrow. She is the widow of my fighting companion, Forlong. Eleanor. Her grief is twofold, for she also survives another, her brother Denethor, victim of Sauron's manipulations. Arwen has taken one of the healers who accompanies us, and the two of them have gone to speak with the Lady Vanyalos. Will you attend them and learn if my queen's administrations have eased her sorrow? The hall of Lady Vanyalos is to the east. Cool. We will be talking to Lady Vanyalos, so I already expected her to be mourning Forlong's death, of course, but I didn't remember she was also Denethor's sister. So Elessar is, of course, right in saying that she is mourning for him as well. But this also means that we'll finally get to talk to Lady Vanyalos. You might remember when we initially came here to Eastern King's Gondor, and we did what few quests we found in Imloth Melwi. There were, well, we visited Lady Vanyalos at her hall, and I was a little surprised to see she didn't have any quest. And that's when I mentioned I was expecting her to be grieving and for her to, well, say something to us, considering all we did last time we were here. But, well, I'm glad to see at least that was not something the LOTRO team overlooked, but something that they were right in saving for another time. So that's good. Now that's more likely too. Yeah, a lot more people in here advancing the epic. This outfit looks gorgeous. It has the new weapon aura from the Ultimate Editions of Coursers of Umbar, which I don't have. I would love to get it, and I will at some point. I just need to save some extra money for that one, because it looks really nice, especially on Mariners. But I'll need to wait a little bit before getting that one. I just got the basic edition to be able to play through the expansion. The healer Yoreth is deep in discussion with Lady Vanyalos and Queen Arwen. So yeah, I just got the basic edition to be able to quest in there and to try the Mariner out. I'm having a lot of fun with the Mariner as well, but I am so eager to get into Umbar now that I hope you don't mind, yeah, me not showing you my Mariner, but yeah, Umbar is where it's at right now. So let's try and get a couple pictures of these ladies and let's see what they are discussing.
I was just telling the Lady Vanyalos that all clouds will surely pass, even in times of grief.
And even in time of grief, there will be a new dawning and the sun will shine out in the morn, such as you could never expect in the nighttime when all seemed darkest. It is true that these have been sorrowful days, and many tears have been shed, but it is it is like I always say. There's a remedy for it, you just have to find the right one. And I learned a great deal about healing remedies when I was just a child in Imlath. Yes, I grew up here among all these flowers. Did I ever tell you that? It is true. Why, when I was just a girl, I never expected to see much further than just down the hill or past the curve in the road. And wouldn't you know that I went on to dwell in Minas Tirith, and in the houses of healing there would be a great many ailments that would take more than medicine, but also a soothing word or three. It is like I always say. Yored must have seen something in Arwen's expression, for she falls silent. Yeah, I love this. You would remember from the books that Yored doesn't shut up. Really, she doesn't know when to, but they pass that trait to the game. That's really fun.
The Queen and her healer, Eorith, mean well, but they can provide no healing for me.
Mine is no ordinary grief. This is not the sorrow of a woman whose husband marched to war and perished there, or that of a woman whose brother ruled a city and fell when it burned. The eyes of Lady Vanyalos shine with tears, but sadness alone does not line her face. Her expression is haunted too by guilt. Would that I had no part in this, then I might grieve as does the rest of Gondor. But I have done as they did not, for I dreamed of what would transpire and I did nothing to prevent it. It is as if I put the axe in the hand of he who slew my Forlong, or cast the torch that set aflame the city walls behind which my brother Denethor perished. It is as if I, Vanyalos, did these things by failing to prevent them. I do remember a little bit about that, Vanyalos mentioning her dreams, but oh my god, that was almost 300 episodes ago. I think you can forgive me for not remembering every single detail.
Not all dreams have the meaning you give to them, Vanyalos.
But my people know well that some there are to whom the Valar grant the gift of foresight. Gift, I say, but if so, it must be an unwelcome one. Vanyalos nods unhappily, and Arwen briefly takes her hand. None disbelieve you, sweet woman. Your dreams came to pass in the way you foresaw, and great is the pain to grieve, especially when the grieving must begin before the loss is suffered. But to think you might have prevented what the Valar showed to you, can you really believe it might be so? Does the Lady of Imlath stand among the ranks of such as they? The expression of guilt on Vanyalos' face disappears, replaced with shock. Arwen continues. Of course not, my dear. Let me help you ease this burden. Beriathan, take this bowl and fill it with water from one of the fountains outside the hall. Then add to it some of the water that falls from the heights in the northwestern reaches of Imlath. This will help to soothe the mind of Lady Vanyalos. Okay, we have a small ceramic bowl. And we have our first task of the day. So I think this is the first fountain. All right. Yeah, it's also taking a little bit to load everything, which is to be expected. I think there's a lot of people online. 600 people, yeah. Yeah, more than I've been seeing for the last few weeks, of course. And a lot of them would be in here. These childs, yeah, they are floating. A little bit, you can barely see that, but yeah. They are floating there. I don't know, we'll see how far we can get. Hopefully we won't find any issues with the epic. I mean, if it were the other way around, like it happened with Gundabad, the epic works correctly and there are a couple quests missing here and there or not working properly, then I wouldn't mind as much. But as I said before, I will not continue playing if I cannot do the epic. Which again, will be a shame because I would really like to play these on release and keep releasing the videos while the expansion is still relatively fresh. I think this is the waterfall Arwen mentioned. Yeah. Alright, not so bad so far. Now, I would have loved to get in here at daytime because, well, you might also remember all I talked about the beauty of Imlath, Meudli and Arnach in daytime, but well, it is what it is. We are in the late watches, so at least we'll get to get some daylight hopefully soon. Now, there are a couple things that I haven't done yet. Of course, one of them, crafting. Now that vocations have been taken away that from professions, I don't know if I want to replace my farmer with everything else. As you can see here, I'm almost maxed out with a farmer, but farmer is really easy to max out. You just need a few gold and an evening or two of harvesting, so that's not a big deal. But I don't know what would I take instead of farmer. I need to think about that one. I'm not sure, but I might end up switching my crafting professions a little bit for all my characters. I really need to think about that one. So that's why I haven't done anything with that just yet. Oh. Yeah, the expansion outfit looks great in black. And the aura, oh my god, it looks amazing. Thank you, Beriathan. Arwen accepts the ceramic bowl from you, taking care not to spill any of the liquid within. She passes her hand over the water and speaks quietly. Idido ininhin, akaetho hint, she says, and hands the bowl to Lady Vanyalos. She indicates the Lady of Arnach should take a sip of the cool waters. When Vanyalos has done so, Arwen smiles. My friend Yareth would tell you no remedy acts as quickly as we might wish, but I hope you will find the comfort you deserve. Grieve for your husband Forlong and for your brother Denethor, but think not to carry the blame of what befell them. In that you are blameless, and the fault lies with Sauron who wove it, or with the Valar who thought such dreams might be of use to you. Now, what does this mean? I'm not familiar with most of the words. Nin is for calm waters, I think, and Hin is for ice, but other than that, I am not sure. What a shame. Bolt of Arwen as well, to be blaming the Valar for this. Let's see what Vanyalos thinks.
Oh, is this elf magic, my queen?
The water is cool and refreshing, and even as it passed my lips, I confess I felt my burdens lift. I cannot thank you enough for your kind words and for this remedy. I will grieve for my family and keenly, but you are right. If the dreams of Vanyalos were sent by the powers, none would think her able to turn aside from them or prevent the horrors so revealed. That would be arrogance unbefitting the Lady of Arnach, or indeed any woman of Gondor. Thank you for aiding Queen Arwen with this ritual of elf magic, Beriathan. I appreciate what you have done and will not forget it. Okay. Next up, back with Aragorn. We have a king in here, so I'm just gonna say hello. Awesome. So back to Elessar it is. Elf Queen of Gondor, yeah. Okay, I have just enough inventory space, I believe. I really didn't clean it up that much. For the most part, I know there's a lot of things I can remove from my inventory, but I really hadn't taken the time to clean my inventory.
Arwen was able to provide some comfort to the Lady Vanyalos. I am pleased to hear it.
But it is no surprise to me. She has always had a rare talent for putting folk at ease, which is only one of the reasons for which I am glad she accompanies me on this tour of the kingdom. She left me little choice, of course, but it will do Gondor much good to see its queen. So, our first piece of gear, agility, okay, vitality, physical mastery. We got mitigation instead of fate, and we lose some critical rating, but it looks good so far, and the cosmetic looks really good as well. All three cosmetics look really nice, but I think I'm gonna get the medium armor in case I want to replace that one.
Lady Vanyalos is not the only resident of Arnach who grieves the loss of Forlong.
He was a most popular figure and treated all the folk of the land within his governance as if they were his own children. Sometimes he treated me in this way despite the difference in our ages. Good old Forlong, they used to cheer. We fought together on more than one battlefield, Beriathan, and he was always a true friend and big-hearted. Aye, and his frame grew too much. Good old Forlong, alas for war. The people of Arnach will need to provide for themselves until another lord is raised to the station. And I doubt not they will, but it will take time to replace such a hole as Forlong leaves. Let us travel south to Arnach and see what the people there need. Alright, so it seems now we're just gonna visit some of the main settlements in Eastern King's Gondor as we make our way to Linhir. Because, well, Linhir is where we first met the Kindred of the Coins. So yeah, Aragorn still needs to make his way to Linhir, so he'll need to make a few stops along the way. One of them, of course, would be Furukzahar, which we discussed in the Levening episode, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, of course. Where's the stable master? God, why I am getting so lost inside him, Love Melwy, all of a sudden. Alright, so everybody's going to Arnach, it seems.
Greetings, friend.
There we go. More kin is in here and everything. Lots of people in here. This looks like a proper expansion release. Awesome. The central square in Arnach. Okay, here's Gondor. The folk of Arnach stare at King Elessar and his traveling companions. Well, there's a lot of people here. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. Already level 150? Oh my god. Just take it easy.
That is the king? What's he doing here in Arnach?
Doesn't he know he's supposed to stay in his tower? I don't think he's a very good king if he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be picking berries and hunting deer to fill the storehouses now that the men have come back from the war. He's not going to do that, surely. A father name doesn't ring a bell.
That is King Elessar! Oh, I would know him anywhere.
My family attended the royal wedding, stranger. Well, we were among the crowd, but even at so great a distance I could tell the king and his elf-bride would be so happy in each other's arms and would rule Gondor fairly and well. But I did not expect either of them to come to Arnach. He's going to get mud all over his fine clothes. Oh dear, I am so ashamed. Take it easy. There is a game with his guardian. So exciting to be questing alongside all these fine people.
Is that the king? What is he doing here?
Have we done something wrong, stranger? What could bring one such as he to our little village? Is he here to punish us? Have we not suffered enough? Oh, if only Lord Forlong had returned from the fighting, he would speak to the king and tell him we have done all we should. Punish you? Don't be so dramatic. Who else we have in here? Well, we have the king, of course, but we also have Legolas. We saw Glyndor in there. Oh, there's Liniel. Lornian, Rasaran, Gimli. Yeah, everyone's here. Where is Arwen? It's my question, because she's traveling incognito, of course. So we have Yoreth and Grethril. And I think Arwen should be hiding somewhere around here. Low-key, trying not to get too much attention to herself, but she's definitely here, and maybe not so far from the king even. Let's grab a picture of the king. It's a little hard to get a a good picture with so many people running in the background, of course, but okay, this one seems good enough. Perfect. So what now?
What do the folk of Arnach need us to do?
You tell Elessar that some of the folk believe he is here to punish them, as kings and stewards rarely came to their village before, but that others plan to pick berries and hunt for game to fill the village storehouse. I am not going to punish them. They and their lord did more than could be expected of anyone during these past few months. We will help them with their tasks, my friend, and when we move on, we will leave their storehouses filled. It is that clear enough? Loud and clear. So, pick berries, and afterwards we'll go game hunting, I believe. And afterwards, who knows? Now, give me just a moment. Yeah, Boar Slayer and Craven Slayer. We can advance those deeds a little bit when we cross into Lebanon. Start getting some more reputation, some more virtue XP. Most of my virtues are capped, and I don't know if I will unlock any rank at level 141. It seems that's not the case. But well, I can still use the virtue XP on the virtues that I do have still under-leveled. It's gonna be fine, I guess. I just hope we don't need to fight for the spawn locations of the berries and the deers. That brings back memories. I remember when Rise of Isengard released, and one of the epic quests in the Galtref, you might remember, you needed to go to one of the camps outside Galtref, fight some downlandings, get some axes, and then destroy the axes. I think that was. And there was such a long queue to defeat downlandings and get the axes. It was brutal. Okay, so here we have Eladan.
This was my berry bush. No, it is fine.
The bounty of all these bushes will end up in the Arnach storehouse. Mind not that I picked the finest berries from this bush before you arrived. While I chose to pick these berries, my sibling is more of a hunter and brought down a deer not far from here. Perhaps you can start preparing the meat to bring back to Arnach. The deer should be just to the southeast of here. Yeah, it's all in good fun, Eladan, don't you worry. As soon as I think of a proper comeback to you, I'll be sure to let you know. So here we have the slain deer. The hunter who brought down these deer steps up from behind a rock. Not what I thought. Really needed to be Arwen. Well, didn't necessarily had to be Arwen, but as I mentioned before, she had to be around somewhere. Not revealing herself to the town maybe, but she had to be here. Around here.
I borrowed this bow from my brother Elrohir. Will you return it to him?
Yeah, they're brothers too. I tend to forget that as well. I may be queen, but I think it is important for the folk of Gondor to see that I work to provide for them, as does my husband. Will return his bow and quiver to him while I finish preparing this meat. It has been some time since I had such a task, but I do know how it is done. Elrohir will be somewhere within Arnach, working alongside my husband. Arwen hands you the bows she borrowed from her brother Elrohir. So by the looks of it, it seems Arwen is really not hiding her presence to the people of Gondor. So I really gotta see how they are handling this entire thing, because on one hand, at the end of chapter 1, Elessar mentioned that Arwen is his greatest bodyguard. Like, he doesn't have anything to fear with her beside him. So that made me believe that Arwen would be, as I said, working incognito. But it seems now that she's actually eager for the people of Gondor to see her alongside Elessar. I don't know what she's planning really. But then again, well, I guess Elessar's court would know the queen is also traveling with them, and in that case there's not much need for secrecy, because, well, the traitor already knows the queen is there, but maybe whoever the traitor is underestimating the queen, thinking she is only an elf mate or whatever. Might be possible.
Ah, I see my sister has finished with the bow and quiver I lent to her.
I hope she was not too disappointed not to bring down any prey. You tell Elrohir that Arwen is even now preparing the meat from her fruitful hand, and he laughs. Even after so many years, she has the skill for it. I had thought residing in Imladris these past years might have driven how it is done from her memory, but I suppose it is not so. She need not prove it to me, though perhaps it is the folk of Gondor she thinks need convincing. Anyway, thank you for the return of my bow and quiver. Oh, he is repairing the storehouse. Awesome!
Thanks to our efforts, the folk of Arnach will be well provided for in the weeks to come.
I hope this will be a comfort to them, and to the memory of Forlong. Will you speak with Baranor and learn if there is aught else we can do before departing? Perhaps he will have news of villages in Upper Lebanon that can guide our course. Yeah, don't mind me already going to every single village in Losarnach and Lebanon to scout ahead of you, which, I mean, what's what we were supposed to be doing anyway. That's what chapter 1 was all about. I mean, I could perfectly tell you which towns I think are in need of assistance. Well, all of them, but the bigger ones are in greater need, of course. Galania and Halach. And Pelargir, of course, we'll need to stop by at Pelargir. Linhir, in between Pelargir and Linhir, I don't know where we'll need to go, but we'll see.
We do appreciate the work you all have done for us. Of course we do.
It's just that, well, the folk of Arnach are a little uncomfortable with their king doing such labor. It is not unwelcome, they are just unused to such things. They have taken hard the death of Forlong. If you encounter him in a tavern, you might buy ales for everyone in the place, and spin tales you couldn't help but believe, no matter how incredible they seemed. But he was one of us. Good old Forlong. This king and his elf queen, they seem well intentioned, but it will take time for the people to warm to them. You understand. The king wishes to know of news from Upper Lebanon. I have been in contact with Captain Imladir of Tumladen, and he says now the war is over, the refuge is emptying, but slowly. Other than that, I have heard little. Okay, yeah, we can go to Tumladen as well. Maybe there is another clue to Indagir and the Vial of Ifrin. I doubt it, but who knows.
Aye, Baranor surely speaks truth.
Tumladen must be emptying of refugees now that the War of the Ring has ended and the people of Gondor return to their homes. I would like to hear how that proceeds, but perhaps we need not bring the company there in its entirety. Oh, interesting.
I will go with the rest of the traveling party to Pelargir, but I ask that you journey first to Tumladen.
And speak with Captain Imladir. If he has need of you, do what you can to assist him in my name. When he can assure you that the situation at the refuge is well in hand, then I will see you again at Pelargir. I have much to discuss with Sirgon, as you know, and I would prefer to speak with him sooner instead of later. Alright, I didn't expect that one. Really didn't expect that one. So, I guess, yeah. We'll go to Tumladen. Now, there is also another thing in here that works really well now that the epic is also sending us to Tumladen, because you would remember during our initial journeys in Eastern Gondor and Los Arnach, you do some quests in Arnach, and they're here in this portion of Lebanon, but there's really nothing sending you to Tumladen. Not a lot of things in there. And especially not a lot of things that would have you visit the beacon in here so that you can get the quest from this defender and then following the road between Arnach and Tumladen to find Indagir's card. But now that the epic is doing that, I think it wouldn't really hurt if next time you come here to King's Gondor, if you want to follow the flow of the epic, you leave these quests at the beacon and the cart and everything for when the epic sends you there through this road. It ends up working really well, but now I wish chapter 2 at least had been released with update 36 instead. What a shame. Like there's a Corsair rider in there that we really don't need to fight. Here we have the wagon and the file that we already investigated, but this once again would be a great moment to do so. A little bit more organically integrated into the story as well, which is nice. Can also try to defeat a couple more Crevine and Boars in Lebanon, at least complete the tier 1 did. now that we're here. Yeah, there were a lot of, well, not a lot, but there were a few quests in Tumladen, and it was really weird that no epic quest took place in here, so I feel a little bit better now with that knowledge.
I cannot tell you how pleased I am that Lady Terenis has returned to Minas Tirith.
Now that the need for safe refuge from the war has passed, but there are fresh difficulties to replace the old ones, Beriathan. A group of dwarves has come from Furukzahar with a proposal, but I am not certain I have the authority to grant it. Perhaps you will speak with them since you have come lately from the king? You may better know his mind and what he would think of their proposal. They are to the southeast and intended to serve in the buildings of Tumladen. Okay, it seems we will be going to Furukzahar way sooner than I thought. Nice. The dwarves from Furukzahar eye you cautiously. Well met, Master Dwarves.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I trust you speak with the king's own authority.
I guess I do, yeah. The captain with whom we spoke earlier did not, and he spent many words telling us so, wasting his time on our own. I am pleased you have taken his place. My fellows and I were sent here by Hamizar, ruler of the Temámir folk who dwell in Furukzahar, stronghold of the White Mountains. Long have we worked alongside the people of Gondor, helping to repair and rebuild their cities, but the recent devastation is worse than any in our memory, and requires a good deal more effort and resources if it is to be made right. To that end, Hamizar wishes to send more crafters and dedicate more blocks of stone to the work. The Fari, Setengil and I have come to serve the needs of this refuge. Can you assure us that the King of Gondor will give us appropriate payment for any work we here perform? You tell Azitam that King Elessar is known for his fair dealings, and he greatly desires that Gondor be restored. The dwarf smiles broadly. Then he will not regret hiring the Temámir Dwarves of Furukzahar, my new friend. Let us continue deeper into the refuge and see how much work will be required. Okay, so that was an invitation for me too. Alright. I guess, yeah, I need to bring the report to the king so that he knows what to expect from the dwarves. Azitam shakes his head and clacks his tongue as he studies the debris. But that was just the start of it. Okay, there's another one in here. These dwarves move really fast as well. A nearby resident of Tumladen sighs loudly as the dwarves study the debris. Now you emerge from your mountains, of course. Come on, that was a little uncalled for. Wouldn't you agree? Or what were you during the war? Okay, you are provoking the dwarves. That's not good. Setengil curses but does not attack. The Fari scowls angrily at you and the Tumladen resident.
I hope the King of Gondor appreciates your work on his behalf, for most of his folk may not.
Would they think to aid us if our stronghold was directly threatened while their own towns and villages were not? I know the answer, though they believe otherwise. Thank you for helping us here. Keep the peace. I will bring my report back to Hamizar and will tell him that the king has, for now, agreed to these repairs. our price will be fair, and the friendship between our folk, well, there's more to be repaired than just stone, it seems. Will you convey an invitation to your king on Hamisar's behalf? He is welcome to visit us at Furukzahar at his earliest convenience. After all, it is one thing to do business between reliable intermediaries, such as you and I, but when rulers can meet face to face, it seems to me much more can be accomplished, better and more quickly. Good day to you, my friend. Good day to you as well. And yeah, let's hope no more trouble comes from this. The dwarves have done what they needed to do. And let's hope the people of Tumladen can keep quiet about it. But yeah, we need to warn the captain, it seems, so that he also knows to keep his people in check. I am not surprised to hear your report of the dwarves from Furukzahar, for I have heard the mutterings around Tumladen. The folk here wonder why the doors of the dwarves remained shut during the war and only opened when the danger had passed. I say they wonder, but that is not the truth. They know the reason and resent the dwarves for it. Or was this help when it might have saved lives? I know each folk must look for after its own, but we could have used the assistance of Furukzahar before now. It is good you prevented the insults from turning to bloodshed. We have seen enough of it this year, at least, even if the Temámir stayed safely in their mountains and so on. You go now to see King Elessar in Pelargir. Tell him of the agreement you brokered with Furukzahar, and also that the refuge of Tumladen stands strong, its purpose fulfilled, and with good fortune it will not need to be used again for many years. Hopefully you are right, and hopefully this is not foreshadowing of troubles in Gondor. But I think the king will do a good job at keeping the peace in here. Now, we can technically now use the master to Pelargir. We can also use the swift travel from the stable master. We're not going to do any of those things, because I want to get at least these 2 Slayer deeds. Once again, I don't think we'll get the advanced here done. At least not today. But oh, Boar Slayer is almost at the advanced tier. We can do that. I know where we can find plenty of boars in upper leveling, but it's really not where we need to go. So I'm not sure if I wanna take the detour or maybe wait a little bit and see if I can find more boars anywhere else. Because yeah, we can go to the Boar Wallow, of course, and there are more than enough boars in there, but I'm not so keen on taking the detour, really. And we just need 3 more Brevine, 9 more boars. Hopefully we can do this. Maybe we'll need to check the forest off the road, of course, because I don't think a lot of boars would be here on the road, right? Wolf. Lots of crows, sadly. there's got to be more than wolves in here. Seems not. What a shame. Didn't see you there, my bad. $16 million XP for level 41. 141. Okay, that's gonna take a while. Maybe. We at least need to get to Lord Arnach to start getting side quests. I might need to go to the boar wall after all. I don't see anything useful in here. I think we have just enough time to do that. And I think there are a couple more crows here to the east of Glaniath that we can take down for a quick completion of the deed. Hopefully. I mean, it's just 2 of them that we need. Anywhere? Links? I don't want links. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, relative high concentration of crows in here. Completed Craven Slayer of Upper Levin in King's Gondor. We got a couple tokens of heroism, which is also nice. At least one. So that's okay. Some marks, some increased reputation. And now we have the advanced tier. We need 60 of them, of course. And this spot is good enough, I guess. About 6 to 7 crows per run. Really doesn't take that much. But waiting for the crows to respawn, that might be the real pain. Now for the time being, let us complete the board deed, and I think that would be it for today at least. Just need 9 of them. I don't think it would be wise to face them all at once, of course, because we are still running in Deadly. Well, Fearless actually is the new name. Gotta get used to that. But anyway, I don't think it would be wise to try and take 9 boars simultaneously. But of course they are so tightly grouped together that you can barely help it. Completed Boar Slayer of Upper Levening. Awesome. And we have the Deed Slayer of Upper Levening. That's also great. Mercy is now level 69. that's basically it. We have a few more tokens as well. 2000 virtue XP, reputation, LOTRO points. Okay. And here we have the Slayer did. So we really just need to complete Craven Slayer to get all these. So that is a total of 12,000 virtue XP, which is really nice. And also $4,000 reputation, not bad at all. I do need to come back here and get those Crevine out of the way. Wasn't as time consuming as I thought it would be. That's great. Okay, so I think here in Halak is a good enough location to stop so that we don't get attacked out in the wild, and we'll continue our journey to Pelargir on the next one. For the time being though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.